Let's try this one more time. Greetings, salutations. Welcome to this prophetic insights where we analyze current events as they are fulfilling Bible prophecies. Safe to Serve International first-time viewers, welcome one, welcome all to this prophetic insights. I'm your host, Andrew Henriquez. We are back. Brothers and sisters, let's get right into it. As you can see in the title, the lineup, my friends, clash between humans and machines. Big Merchant is now promoting the money of the beast system. And friends, today I am the son-in-law Watchman. As we're told in Isaiah chapter 21, Watchman, what of the night? Watchman, what of the night? And what did he see? He saw Babylon is fallen, is fallen. Watchman, what of the night? The morning cometh, and also the night. And today, I'm your son-in-law watcher. Giving the trumpet a distinct sound. Yes, brothers and sisters, it's time. The signs are here. Let me see the hands of those of you who did not get the chance to watch yesterday's prophetic insights. We were live yesterday at 6 p.m. Eastern. If you did not get the opportunity to view that important presentation, I beseech you, implore you to go back and take a look at that. This installment of prophetic insight is going to be a continuation, going deeper on those points. The money of the beast. Take a look at this, brothers and sisters. Hearing things from the horse's mouth. That's it. Notice here, brothers and sisters, this is the managing director of IMF. You have to go back and take a look at what we covered on yesterday. Look at this, brothers and sisters, talking about the Pope's money system, the CBDC, the money of the beast system. She equated that to ships. Listen again, brothers and sisters.
Bear with me on giving you an image and then outlining three priorities for CBDCs to help. Here is the image. We have been talking this last couple of days of the difficult time we are in, that our world economy is like a ship in choppy waters. Well, the image we can add to it is thinking of CBDCs as being a new fleet of ships, specially designed to be agile and to be able to withstand a choppier sea. They take people on new voyages, they open up new possibilities, and because they're issued by central banks, they offer more confidence that the ships would move safely. Like cash, they're accessible for all.
All right, that sounds well and good. Look at this, friends. And yesterday, I gave you several scriptures regarding ships in the Bible, likened unto the merchants, the economic system, the financial backbone of the world. And yesterday I said I was going to share with you a particular scripture. Brothers and sisters, write down Isaiah chapter 23, verse number 1. It mentions the city of Tyre and mention the ships of Tarshish. They are connected. Oh, brothers and sisters, they are connected. And look with me now at verse number 7. We're told Tyre is likened unto a joyous city. Is that so? Look at verse number 8. She's called the crowning city with the merchants, the traffickers. In the Bible, especially in the book of Revelation, what nation is called a crowning city? For a nation to be labeled a crowning city, there has to be a monarch, a king. In this sense, it is the queen. Revelation chapter 18, verse 2 through verse number 10. It's Babylon, the papacy. That's it. And she's connected to the merchants, the ships of Tarshish. Look now at verse 14. Howl, you ships of Tarshish. Who is she howling for? Verse number 15. The crowning city of Tyre. Verse 15. She sings as an harlot. Howl in the Bible is synonymous to alas. A-L-A-S. Alas. As it were, mourning. That is what you find in Revelation chapter 18. Yes, brothers and sisters. Read verse 16. Who is the harlot, the whore of prophecy in the last days? It is the papacy. It's all connected. Read down to verse 18, brothers and sisters. It's all there. And there's several more scriptures that mention Tarshish, the ships, business, economy in connection with the papacy, Babylon, Watchman, what of the night? Today I'm telling you, the son-in-law is on the horizon. The son-in-law watcher. I'm the son-in-law watchman. Hold on there. Why did I spend time to recapitulate those points? Watch this now. Here it is, my friends. From the horse's mouth, this is the deputy managing director of the IMF talking about CBDC, the money of the beast. Listen to this, brothers and sisters, again, regarding what they call social credit score, social scoring, all right, and also credit loans and a credit line.
One example in China, because I personally experienced it, right? Those transaction data can be utilized by service providers in credit underwriting, in the sense that, those transaction data in terms of how many coffee I drink every day, where I buy coffee, do I use Uber every day, and what kind of working hours I have. Those non-traditional data can be very useful for financial service providers to give me a credit score. And based on that credit score, the financial service provider give me a credit line without any face-to-face due diligence.
All right, notice here, my friends, this is fresh off the press. This is the purpose for the reiteration of a few of the plethora of points that were presented on yesterday. Look at this, friends. This is PAYPAL. From this day forward, this point forward, I will call that big merchant. All right, big merchant. You know exactly who I'm referring to. Big merchant and America spending social credit system. October 17th, this was released. Friends, look at the red words. It says the future of a social credit system with American characteristics may well already be here. That's the point, brothers and sisters. And they're mentioning big merchants' implication in the system of the money of the beast. Brothers and sisters, watch carefully now. We are told in Testimonies for the Church, volume 9 and page number 11, look out for consolidations. Look out for monopolies. Why? They are strengthening for the last great crisis. They are all uniting, right? And the great changes are soon to take place in our world. And friends, the final movements will be rapid ones. Next, look at that, my friends. In the world, gigantic monopolies will be formed. Monopolies, yes, connected to labor unions, connected to trade unions. Brothers and sisters, when we see these things, we need to realize, listen, The end is right upon us. Look at this, friends. There he is. This is the founder of Big Merchant. There he is, my friends. And what is he promoting? Monopoly. That's it, friends. It's a good idea. It's a good thing. Monopoly. Past that, brothers and sisters. Watch carefully now. Do Americans wish to live in a world where dissenters from prevailing elite orthodoxy face discrimination in every public domain? Watch this. The recent fracas over Big Merchant's user policy raises the specter of such a dystopia, a debanked future driven by de facto social credit scoring that is quickly becoming our present. Not something in the future. Oh no, it is here. Sunday law watchmen, Sunday law watchers. What of the night? Before the morning comes, the night is here. Listen, friends. Listen, the payment processing company, Big Merchant, is one of the largest non-bank lenders in the world with more than 75 billion in assets. Listen, friends, recently modified its user agreement, threatening to fine those who use Big Merchant, all right, for activities that involve the sending, posting, or publication of any messages, any content, or materials that in Big Merchant's sole discretion promote misinformation, up to $2,500 per violation. Next. Then Big Merchant backtracked. Listen to the reasoning given for this reneging of this user statement. Watch this, friends. A spokesman said the updated policy had gone out in error that included incorrect information. Big Merchant is not fining people for misinformation, and this language was never intended to be inserted in our policy. My friends, come on, hand me the paintbrush, hand me the paint. Friends, the mere fact this was printed, published, and circulated, it means it was previously written. All right, let's continue. While the company might have accidentally released the policy, the company still drafted the policy. That means it considered transforming itself from financial services company to an arbiter of truth, policing wrongthink and punishing the perpetrators by what? Pilfering their accounts. How is Big Merchant equipped to separate fact from fiction? By what means would it assess whether its users are trafficking in the latter? What would rise to the level of punishable speech? Good questions. Let's read on. That we even have to consider such hypotheticals is disastrous. But they are ones we could imagine emerging from any number of corporations. The money of the beast, not only the sign of the beast, not only the mark, but my friends, we're seeing it now. It's in government as well as we're in the private sector. From the money of the beast, then we will see the mark. All right, brothers and sisters, read on. It says, while financial services companies, of course, ought to be on guard against criminal activity. What a balanced approach. Extremism and hate is very much in the eye of the beholder. Listen what it says. Watch carefully. These beholders have a track record that makes clear they would almost certainly equate conservatism or any dissent from the ruling class consensus as radical, extreme, dangerous, and perhaps worthy of censure. The payment processor, in fact, had already put thought crime provisions on its books and apparently applied them in meting out punishment to dissident users. Wait, there's more. Here it is, my friends. Big merchant, blue words on top, that weaponization targets both the mind and material, given big merchants' past practices and notable instances of alleged debanking or, at minimum, troubling signs of ideological targeting by financial institutions. The future of a social credit system with American characteristics, what a phrase, may well already be here. Not over there, but here, my friends. That's it. We should expect a growing push among financial service companies to police wrongthink and threaten those who engage in it. Beloved, notice again the red words. They're telling us the money of the beast system is already here with an American characteristic trait. Yes, with an American flavor, the American ingredient, just as prophecy intimated. Prophecy stated in Revelation 13, verse 11, verse 12, Protestant America will exercise or the power of the papacy, the first beast. In verse 1 through verse 10, and then verse 15, a false system of worship. And for all dissidents, prosecution, persecution. Verse 16, verse 17, you won't be able to buy or sell except you go along with the elitist group think. Let's fix that. Unless you are drinking Babylon's wine. You are dining at Jezebel's table, the papal Jesuit table. You're drinking, accepting her inimical policies, the liberty of conscience. Watchman, what of the night? I'm telling you, my friends, the Sunday law is on the horizon. Where are the Sunday law watchers? Beloved, I'm going to segue from that now and address the New York Times article. And beloved, to set this up, like in any book, there is a preface. In any literal, wholesome book, there is an introduction. All right, my friends, here it is. The preface. We know that based on the record, that the NYT news report is also a propaganda machine. Here it is, my friends. Propaganda, information, especially of a biased or misleading nature, used to promote or publicize a particular political cause or point of view. Propaganda can also be used not only to promote a political view, but what about a religious view? Watch this, my friends. And Jesus said in Matthew 24, verse 3 and verse 4, that just before the end of the world's history, expect deception, propaganda, deception. Richard Stengel, who is he? You can pause the video right here, friends, and read his brief biography, his brief resume. All right, let's move on from that. It says he has been involved in propaganda movements. Friends, listen to this. Have you ever heard of the CFR, the abbreviation for another draconian agency? Oh, beloved, listen.
You'll be the last question, but I just want to weigh in on that for 1 second. So there's another word for master narratives. It's called history. Basically, every country creates their own narrative story. And my old job at the State Department was what people used to joke as the chief propagandist job.
And remember, what are we told? There is a grain of truth in every joke. My friends, have you ever heard the colloquial statement, what is joke to you is death to me?
And my old job at the State Department was what people used to joke as the chief propagandist job.
Listen now, friends. Here he mentions
propaganda. I'm not against propaganda. Every country does it, and they have to do it to their own population. And I don't necessarily think it's that awful. And this idea of a
So what does he support? What does he support and promote? To be used on U.S. population propaganda? All right. Listen, he goes on to mention the two magazines.
Of a news cartel. I mean, I was editor of Time in 2012 during that election, and I remember, you're competing against cartels and everybody. I remember being on a panel with the then editor of the New York Times, who said it's really hard to break through these days. This is the editor of the New York Times saying it's hard to break through. I wanted to jump off the platform. Like, what's it like for the rest of it?
There it is, my friends. Propaganda machine. Now that is the preface. That was the introduction. That was setting the stage. Now here comes the article, brothers and sisters. New York Times is promoting Sunday rest by law. You heard me correctly. Sunday worship by law to thwart, yes, workers being treated as machines, robots. Sometimes people read my titles and think I'm making things up to get views. And what's in the title is not actually what I'm addressing. Brothers and sisters, here it is. October 16th, New York Times headline, How to Fight Back Against the Inhumanity of Modern Work. Red words. That the next great division of the world will be between people who wish to live as creatures and people who wish to live as machines. That's it, my friends. That's it. The clash between people and machines. Do you see it now? The clash between people and humanoids, as they would say, robots. People being treated as robots. My friends, if I were you, I would call somebody right now. It's the opportune time. Text somebody, email somebody, wake somebody up, blow the trumpet, invite somebody to join us, share this with someone else. Look at this, friends. Let's read some of this. It says, the rise. Watch carefully, brothers and sisters. The author is going to mention that the labor movement, what did I say? The labor union movement of the past should serve as our model of how to address workers being overworked. There is no temperance. In other words, I'm going to be very succinct. All right, take this to the bank. You can cash this. What they're saying is, New York Times, what they are promoting is this. We need a national Sunday law to combat intemperance, just as what Inspiration said. Oh, brothers and sisters, watch this. It says, the rise of digital technology requires us as a culture to re-examine what it means for work to be humane. As we do so, we stand on the shoulders of those who came before us in what movement? The labor movement. They offer us a model. Don't forget this. They offer us a model for how to begin this re-examination. In the early labor movement, a broad and diverse base of religious people found common cause around Sabbath laws. These laws, often called blue laws, are now usually seen as examples of antiquated, Puritans, puritanical, even theocratic impulses. Listen as they close here. Advocate of Sabbatarianism, however, saw their work as an act of resistance to greed and a fight for the laborer. Brothers and sisters, what were we told was coming in America, coming to America in the 1880s? A national Sunday law, Sunday rest, Sunday worship by law. What groups all conflated and had a working synergy? What groups, my friend? We're told papists. Who else? Apostate Protestants. Who else? Civil leaders. Yes, men in Congress, men in the Senate. Number 4, the labor union leaders. There it is, my friends. You can pause the video, read that. You can pause the video again, digest that. Pause the video, digest that, my friends. All right. And what are we told? The labor unions, labor movement will bring upon this earth a time of trouble such as never was. They will be very oppressive. Have we come to that time? Move on. Then they mentioned in the article Philip Schaff, 19th century Swiss German theologian. He was an immigrant, immigrated to the United States. Red words. He and many others. For them, a key issue in not the small, no friends, but the burgeoning industrialist economy of the North was the preservation of a time for worship. What? Yes. What are they promoting? Remember, the NYT platform said the past labor movement serves as an example. We can take our marching instructions from what they were promoting, what they were desiring, what they were pushing, what they were having a clarion call for, and now apply, enact, install what they were calling for back then. There it is, friends. Preservation of a time for worship. That's it. Let's read some more. A time for rest, family, life. A time to preserve the dignity of the worker. It sounds good. Which person would say it's okay for workers to be overworked as if they're slaves, as if they're robots, as if they're machines? No, no one, friends. But this is the agenda of Satan. He takes a good cause and then he sprinkles. He sprinkles not salt for taste. He sprinkles not cumin for taste. He sprinkles not thyme. No, he sprinkles not cardamom. Listen to me. Pastor, are you cooking? He sprinkles poison, just enough error to give it plausibility. Not turmeric, no, brothers and sisters. Not onion powder, no. Not garlic powder, no. And my favorite season. What is your favorite seasoning, Pastor? Ask Hillary. Let's move on. It says, Schaff, Bluebird stressed that keeping the Sabbath wasn't merely a religious observance, but it served a civic function. Sounds good, friends. Who else had those same rhetoric? Beloved, it was the High Court of the U.S. Chief Justice. It's right there, brothers and sisters. Yes, there it is, friends. Now, let me give you one paragraph. It says, red words, the court also found that the blue laws didn't violate the division between church and state. Blue words at the bottom. The laws are to improve the health, safety, recreation, and general well-being of citizens. Red words now. The fact that this day is of particular significance for various Christian sects does not bar the state from achieving its secular goals. Sunday for secular reasons, Sunday for health, Sunday for safety, Sunday for the workers. My friends, it's the same words. That is, by the way, that was the High Court Chief Justice. Look at the years he served the U.S. 1953 to 1969. When those words were written, look at this now. 1863. Brothers and sisters, those of you who are alive and profess to be SDA, how significant is the year 1863 for Seventh-day Adventist Christians? Give me those comments, friends. 1863, back to my point. In 1863, there was an address by the same person at the National Sabbath Convention. And what did they say? Mr. Schaff, he writes, Sabbath rest is necessary for both body and soul. Sabbath rest preserves health. That's it. Sabbath rest preserves wealth. Okay. Temporal happiness and prosperity of individuals and communities. You can see what's coming, friends. When calamities, pestilences begin and continue to wreak havoc on America, destroy the economy, what will they say? And for Sunday to bring back temporal prosperity. That's it, friends. So God can bless America. The Pope said that on paragraph 237 of Laudato Si in Great Controversy, page 589, page 590, Sunday Sabbath, Sunday law, to bring back temporal prosperity. It's right there, friends. Watchman, what of the night? And that's why I say today, by God's grace, I'm a Sunday law watcher. There it is, my friends. Watch. Red words. He goes on to say, he called Sabbath laws a check. Sabbath laws a limit to what? The degrading worship of the almighty dollar. Then he said, take away the Sabbath and you destroy the most humane and democratic institution, which is made particularly for the man of labor and toil, of poverty and sorrow. My friends, watch carefully. This is the paragraph that confirms they are calling for and pushing for a Sunday law to combat intemperance of work. The laborers, the workers, all right, are not machines, not robots. It's right there, friends. Red words. He called Sabbath laws a check and limit to the degrading worship. Check and limit. What do we call that, my friends? We call that temperance, boundaries, checks and limits, boundaries. Great controversy now. This is the nail in the show place. Page 587. It says Sunday law is coming to combat immorality. But friends, watch the blue words. Hear the temperance work. One of the most important, yes, prominent of moral reforms is often combined with the Sunday movement. The advocates of that Sunday law represent themselves as laboring to promote the highest interest of society. And those who refuse to unite with them will be denounced as the enemies of temperance and reform. That's it, friends. And that's why I say Satan is mingling poison with wholesome food. That's the statement right there, friends, in blue. That's it. Poison in wholesome food. We love workers. We do not support intemperance in eating, drinking, and work. No, no. But now, what is their solution? Sunday rest by law. There it is, friends. It says, blue words, the leaders of the Sunday movement may advocate reforms which the people need principles which are in harmony with the Bible. Yet while there is with these a requirement which is contrary to God's law, God's people cannot unite with them. Nothing can justify them in setting aside the commandments of God for the precepts of men. That's it, friends. And remember now, some of these people who are pushing and promoting Sunday worship by law to combat the crises in the land, a few of them are sincere, but they are sincerely ignorant, deceived. The majority know exactly what they're doing. All right, friends, Acts chapter 3, put that down. Acts 3, verse 14 through verse 20. The Bible teaches that there was a large class of people who were a part of calling for Barabbas at the first advent of Christ and saying, destroy, crucify Christ. But they did so ignorantly. They did so because they were deceived. They accepted propaganda, deception. But now in Acts 3, the apostles now call these people to repentance and conversion, and a few of them surrendered and joined God's people in receiving and promoting the present truth of that day. What am I saying? Some of these people will be saved, but the majority will be lost. Now, I move on. Now consider the double speak in the article. Look at this, friends. He says, New York Times, I don't expect us to put blue laws back on the books. I understand that most Americans, including religious Americans, no longer observe a strict day of rest. I also understand, of course, the Sabbath lands on different days for different religious traditions. Someone would take that once, 2 lines, and say, Pastor, they're not promoting Sunday worship by law. Well, listen now. Black words underlined. Still, with the boundaryless work of this digital age, with consumer pressure for retail stores and e-commerce companies to remain open at all times, and with our unholy worship of productivity and convenience, the spirit of these laws is more needed than ever before. What does that phrase mean? The spirit of these laws is more needed than ever before. What spirit of which law? That's the Sunday law of the past. That's it, friends. Double speak. Do you see it? In one breath. We're not calling for Sunday law. Oh no, oh no, oh no. In the next breath, what's happening? Forked tongue. What's happening here, friends? You see it now? The spirit of these laws must now be enacted. It says, what practices now limit our restless activity as a nation? What resources are there in our culture to curb the degrading worship of the almighty dollar? And now, friends, in no uncertain terms, plain, no ambiguity, this piece went on to mention Sunday worship by law. Look at this, friends. There it is. At the very least, workers ought to be able to completely shut off from work 1 day a week or more. All right, friends. My family attempts to avoid all digital devices from Saturday night to Sunday night. What are they counterfeiting here? From Friday sunset to Saturday sunset. This is a counterfeit. That's it, my friends. It says this aids our goals for our Sabbath day. That's Sunday, friends, for them. rest, play, worship, and what? Delight. Oh, brothers and sisters, listen to me attentively. Right now, you know what? Time. I'm going to close right here, friends. In Matthew 13, so much more to share, but my time is slipping. In Matthew 13, what came to my mind on the same point of propaganda, these news, they call them news cartel, monopolies on information. They stand at the gate of information. All right, friends, they hold the lock and the key. When they publish these pieces, articles, they are sowing seeds. And we may never see now the fruition effect of these seeds until later on. Matthew 13, verse number 25. It says Christ is sowing the good seed. The good seed. Luke 8, verse 11. The seed, the word of God. Verse 25. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tears among the wheat and went his way. That is exactly what these articles are doing. Sowing tears. Yes, my friends. False doctrines, false teachings, and playing on people's emotions. Oh, we love workers. Oh, we love workers. And verse number 26 now, it says, but when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tears also. So when will we see the results of these articles? What they are promoting, my friends, when the blade is sprung up and the fruit is brought forth. What event brings the fruit? It's the mark of the beast. Revelation chapter 14. Yes, friends. Verse 9 to verse number 16. We will look back and see these articles lay the foundation for people calling for Barabbas and destroy Christ, Sunday, and overthrow God's seventh-day Sabbath. We'll see it. Just as when the Sunday law is enforced, God's missionaries and messengers will look back and see all those Bible studies that were done, prepared a harvest for souls. All the books that we distributed, prepared a harvest of souls. All those sermons, midday power surge, prophetic insights, Sunday law watcher. Yes, my friends. All these prepared souls to stand on God's side, to stand for present truth now and when the national Sunday law is enforced. Yes, the medical missionaries who assisted the healing process of the sick and gave them Bible studies will look back and realize the seeds were sown in aggressive, effective medical missionary evangelism. And here is a harvest of souls. That's it, friends. Two sides. Come on, friends. Two sides. Verse 25, I close. But while men slept, Romans chapter 11, fix that. Romans chapter 13, verse 11. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to be awakened out of sleep. Watchman, watchman, what of the night? Oh, my friends, it's time to give the trumpet a distinct sound. Watchman, what of the night? My friends, the morning cometh, and also the night. Share this, friends. Let's awaken some people before it is too late. The 5 keys of survival: conversion, country living, food, water, resources on your property, ministry, amen, and assisting someone less fortunate, aiding someone else. It's time, friends. And remember, join us tomorrow. Tomorrow, friends, for midday power surge at 12 noon Eastern Time for our continuation of this week of revival and reformation, the final 7 days on earth. Experience 7 sanctuary feasts. And what is tomorrow's lesson? Oh, my friends, the blowing of trumpets. Maranatha, the protest continues.